8-3, adding decimals. So there we are, page 272, 273. There's what our problems look like. Some of them are in horizontal form, or I'm sorry, vertical form, up and down. We like vertical form, especially with decimals, very helpful. Some are in horizontal form. We don't like those as much, but that's okay. We'll talk about how we're going to solve it. There's tomorrow's lesson. Probably looks about the same to you because it more or less is. There'll be a couple minor things, slightly bigger numbers, but other than that, that's about it. So, okay, let's look at number 6 up here. Looking at page 273, and we're getting right to it. So number 6 says 39 hundredths plus 5 hundredths. Now, we are adding decimals. Yes, we are. And if I wrote, just throwing it out here. Actually, I'm going to start with number 7 here. I'll finish that one in a minute, but number 7, 49 hundredths plus 38 hundredths. And we'll come back to that, but let's just pretend I'm solving this problem right here. 49 plus 38, right? Okay. So we should know, I think you know, you always start on the right, the ones column, and just work your way left. That way, if we have anything that carries over to the next column, we can just bring it with us. So I'd probably want to start by adding my 9 plus 8, that's 17. 7 ones, carry the 1 to the tens column. And then add up my 4 plus 3 plus 1. 49 plus 38 is 87. Agreed? If I would write it, say, this way, and try to add it, I would get an 8 here, a 12, and I'd get 528. But that's not the right answer, is it? What did I do wrong? Anybody? Ella? Right. Right. I got to get the right place values in the right spot, right? I can't just move anything anywhere I want. I have to, this should be over here. I need my ones column nice and lined up together. I add my ones to my ones. I add my tens to my tens, right? It's the same thing with decimals. When we're getting this all here, set up here, and rewrite these, and we'll practice this down here, but we want to make sure that all the place values are aligned together. And this is why just having some basic neat handwriting can help you here. In some spots, we'll look at these problems here, we're missing a couple values here. But this is still 4 tenths. It's not 4 hundredths, that would be 0.04. 75 hundredths, 7 tenths plus 5 hundredths. So when we're going through some of these, like down here, we'll practice rewriting, but notice how the decimal is always, always on top of each other. And then these other values, regardless of how many digits there are, same thing over here. When we start getting the thousands, we see all the place values are neatly lined up together, right? That's the whole key here. And then to solve this problem here is identical to how we would just solve this problem, where instead of starting in the ones column, well, now I'll just start in the hundredths column. 9 hundredths plus 8 hundredths is 17 hundredths, or a 7 in the hundredths, carry the tenth over to the tenths column, and then add that. There's my 8, and now my decimal never moves. It's locked in place there. And again, if you want to put your 0 here, that's fine. But 49 hundredths plus 38 hundredths is 87 hundredths. How we solved it is very similar to how we solved this. We just start on the right. And of course, what's the big difference between these two? Well, this decimal. The decimal's everything. These are values less than 1. This is 87 hundredths. This is 49 plus 38, 87. They are different numbers, as we would expect them to be, but the process to solve them is unchanged with how you learned how to do math in first grade. That's about all I have to say about that. So, I mean, over here, number 6, of course, 39. If I did 39 plus 5, I would just, there's nothing in the tens column, so I don't have anything in the tens column. 9 plus 5 is 14, carry the 1. 39 plus 5 is 44. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So 39 hundredths plus 5 hundredths, again, starting over here, there's my 4, carry the 1, there's my 4, making sure I get my decimal in there. I don't want to represent this as 44, that's not the answer, it's 44 hundredths. So when you're adding or subtracting, your decimal never moves. And you can put your decimal down right off the bat. If you want to start every single one of them and just put your decimal in its place where it's going to be, not a terrible idea. But whatever it takes. If you're missing your decimal, well, that's a problem because 44 and 44 hundredths are very different numbers from each other. One of them is the correct answer. The other one is far, far, far away from being correct. So making sure we get that decimal in our answers. Okay. We'll look at number 8. So this time, and when you're adding and subtracting, again, or adding, maybe it's a little optional, but if we were subtracting these here, and when you're adding, especially with decimals here, it's very helpful to make sure you got the same number of decimals in all the numbers you're adding. This one has 1 decimal, and this one has 2. But I can write this with 2 decimals. What do I need to do? Right, I can just put a 0 here in the hundredths column on my own. And again, they start it this way here, but adding a 0 changes nothing. Because think about it this way, 8 tenths, right, and 80 hundredths. If I simplify them both, divide by 2, there's 4 fifths. 80 divided by 20 is 4. 100 divided by 20 is 5. These are the exact same thing. And just like 800 over 1,000 would also be 4 fifths, right? So I can add my own 0 here. And I do that when I'm adding or subtracting because it can help you make sure you got your place values all nicely lined up together to have something in everything. But especially when we're subtracting, because then if we had to subtract, we need to break apart, and we'll cover subtracting in a few days. But it is not a bad idea when you're working with decimals and adding or subtracting to make sure you write everything with the same number of decimal spots to make sure that your place values are all neatly aligned. Because as we saw before, if we get our place values off, well then you're going to get you're going to get a very, very wrong looking answer. Here's what's going to happen to you. Okay. So then you just go ahead and bring it on home. And then there's my decimal, but I'm carrying over to the ones column now. Because 8 plus 3 is 11, so this one, final answer, should be 1 and 19 hundredths. Just like if I had 80 plus 39, I would get a final answer of 119. Don't have anything in the hundreds, but obviously it's going to carry over to that place value, right? Right? All right. Last thing I'll show you here, and then you can do your own. I'll give you a few, and that's all I got. I'll do number 19 and 23. And then I'll give you guys some to do. So, only difference here is these are written in horizontal form, left to right. And that is not helpful for us, really, at all. So our first move should be to rewrite the problem in the vertical up and down form ourselves. Ditto in the homework, just take a second, call this pregame work. Remember, math is a 3-part process. You guys don't have a lot of pregame work in 5th grade, but as you move along, before you can even start solving a problem, you'll have to do all this work just to get the problem set up to even solve it. And then you do all your stuff, and then there's post-game a lot of times too, where you got to simplify. We do some post-game stuff here. We get an answer, but Mr. Melcher doesn't like it. He doesn't want an improper fraction, so you got to convert it to a mixed number, or, post-game work. You've solved it, your answer's technically correct, but you gotta get the format, right? So pre-game work. Sometimes that entails just rewriting. So all I would do here is just rewrite. And again, I'm being conscientious to make sure that I get all the place values. The hundredths are in the hundredths, the tenths are in the tenths. Once it's all set up and aligned, go ahead, bring it home. Did you get 44 hundredths for that one? Good. This one here, I can write them in any order I'm adding, but I'll just put them in the order that they're given. And I see right off the bat, I'm working with 2 decimal spots. This one only has 1. So I think I'm just going to put a 0 there this time. Just to, again, make sure I got all my place values lined up right. That's the whole key, you know why. And now adding 3 numbers, you know how to do that. 2 plus 0 plus 5 is 7. 8 plus 6 plus 0, a 4. Carry the 1. Make sure you get that decimal in there. 1 and 47 hundredths. Think you can do it? Right. Well, you got 2 days to learn how to do it. So the rest of today and then all day tomorrow. So, right. And again, you can see the only difference with tomorrow is now they got some with 3 decimal spots. So I guess they're a little bit bigger, but that shouldn't really scare any of you. Lauren, are you scared?
We only have 2 days to learn this.
Right, yeah, I know. Or actually, no, this is the lesson, right? This is an estimate. One more. You're not doing 8-4. 8-4 is estimating. So 8-5, this is the actual lesson. Even bigger still, huh? Hopefully that doesn't scare you. Right. Be real careful with these, though. I mean, again, be very 635 plus 20, you know, you're going to have a lot of different place values in a problem like this, right? So again, I'll show you on the video, but I would probably write 635.000 because that's 3 decimals, 9.500. Then I have them all with the nice align like we did. I'll cover it, I'm sure, in the video, but only difference, bigger numbers. I think you'll be fine. All right, let's give you a few to do here. I got less than 47 minutes to get this all done in. So you guys got less than 47 minutes to do maybe 5 problems here. So if you get it done earlier than that, then maybe we'll call it a day. Okay, try number 9. Try number 11. Try number 20. And try number 25. And then I should show you one of the last part, but I will in just a second. All right, so try these 4 here. That's a 65 hundredths, by the way. 5. So I'll pull 4 sticks out. So on your own, try these 4 problems. Go. All right. If you don't get them all done, that's fine, Michaela, but see if you can get a couple of these done. See how it works for you.
I just want to get all of them done so everyone can go outside.
Right. If you can do 2 of these, awesome. Yo, dude, what's up? All done? Okay. I'll pull 4 sticks in a minute. Looks like you're the first one.
Thank you, Lord.
Just riding that perfecto wave. Just cresting. Looks a little tired though. Tess took it out of him, I guess. Laid it all on the line to get that good score. Now he's just nothing left in the tank. All right. I'll sign them up here, then we'll go through them. So number 9 will be Roland. Number 11, George. 20, Lauren. 25, Uriah. Okay. So Roland, you ready?
Yeah.
Walk me through it.
0, 98. Okay, basically, the 800th plus the 200th is put a 0, and then at the very top, so then it's 1 and then it's basically 10 plus 3.
Yep.
So 3 tenths and then 1 place one normal number.
So final answer?
1 and 3 tenths.
Right. You could say 30 hundredths, but usually, and it's not wrong. I mean, there's definitely nothing wrong here, but this is 1 and 3 tenths is what it is. Because remember that 0, just like I was adding them in place here for a couple of them. Like here or wherever I did it somewhere, but same deal here. I mean, 30 hundredths, if I simplify, that's the same as 3 tenths. So if you want to be fully official here, I mean, both are fine, but this is the better form. That last 0 has no value. It doesn't really need to be in your answer, but if you just left it that, again, I'm saying there's no issue here one way or the other, but if you at least can understand these two things are one and the same, then we're in good shape here. So they are one and the same. And this and this and this are also all one and the same. I can add as many zeros after the decimal as I want. Never changes the value of anything, though. This, and they're all the same value, though. But this is the most simplified version of all of it right there. So. Okay, George.
6 tenths plus 5 tenths plus 8 tenths equals 1 and 9 tenths.
Right, so there's the 9. Carry the 1. He said 1 and 9 tenths.
Thanks. Good job, George.
Right. Lauren.
No, this is just a guess because it's too hard. But, so there's 6, so the 5 and the 1, I think might be huh?
You're doing 20 here.
Oh, yeah, 20. The 2, the 0 and the 2 might be a 2. And the 7 and 3.
Did you rewrite it? Or did you not? Or if you did, I'm not saying you have to do anything, but I'm just curious. Did you rewrite it or not? If you didn't, that's fine. Well, you don't have to. I mean, if you got the right answer. But
Oh, no.
I guess-
I accidentally put the thing on the. Yeah. So the 2 and the 0 is. Oh, yeah, I rewrote it. And then
Okay.
that's a 2. And that's a 10. So 1 and 200.
Right. Yep. So again, the 1 officially comes over here. Right. I like how you guys are saying it. You guys are doing a good job telling me you're you're using your words. You're not saying point. All 3 of you have done well articulating your final answer. I appreciate that, and I've noticed. So, Uriah, did you rewrite it?
Yes. I
Okay,
rewrote
so
it.
I'll rewrite it too. Did you put a 0 after the 9?
Yes.
I'm going to do that too. So it looks kind of like that when you rewrote it.
Yes.
Okay.
1 plus 5 is 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. The 15 turns into 1 and 5 tenths. Then add that to our 600ths, which equals 1 and 56 hundredths.
Right.
Make out a background.
Yes, sir. You do. All right. Last part here. I'm going to show you 1 and give you 1. So So find the sum. Again, we've seen this type of scenario before. 26 says, I'm going to do 1, give you 1, and then we're done. When I see you at study hall, first thing I'll have you finish the last homework up there. We'll check it, and then you can probably spend a few minutes working on today's homework. But n plus 5 hundredths when n equals 75 hundredths. So all I need to do here is whatever it says n is, I'm just going to plug it in there. So it's not n, it's 75 hundredths. So if I plug that in, basically I have 75 hundredths plus the 5 hundredths, right? And then I can go ahead and finish it off here. I'd probably rewrite it in my vertical form, 0, 8, decimal. You can write 80 hundredths or 0.8. Either one's fine. But all I need you to do is whatever n is, just plug it in, solve the problem. Can you do that? All right, try number 27. And then if you can get it done in under 39 minutes, I'll let you leave a little early. But you got to get it done in under 39 minutes here. So. Well, let's see if we can log in. We need to get serious about it for once here. No more Mickey Mouse time. So n plus 67 hundredths when n equals 6 tenths. Right there. So first thing I would probably do is just rewrite it. Doesn't matter which one you put on top or bottom. 1 plus 2 is the same thing as 2 plus 1. Order doesn't matter. Commutative property. So I can just put 0.67, and then what am I adding to it? That right there, the 0.6 or 6 tenths. Throw my 0 in place there, a 7, a 2, carry the 1. Did you get 1 and 27 hundredths? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody got it? Oh, that's a bummer. Oh, okay. How do I, are you telling me the truth? Did you really get it right? Did you really get it? Really?